10 minutes plus 2 laps on the mile for the AFT Singles class. Let's bring the revs up. And let's go racing.
Not a very good start by Kitchen. Looked like he was sleeping a little bit coming off the line.
Yeah, Tanner Dean at 38. Good jump, good traction. Going to lead them into turn 1 and out of turn 2.
Yeah, great start by Tanner Dean. He's won a couple races on some of the shorter tracks over the last couple of seasons. Good to see him running up front here on the mile.
But if you have not watched a mile race in American flat track before, you are in for a show. They'll be drafting each other, especially in the backstretch, also in the front. And it's going to be just passing back and forth. So just because Dean has the lead now, he's in for a wild ride because these guys are going to be swapping it every time. And look who's back up front. The dream ride for Brandon Kitchen continues. I just want to give a shout out to the 13, who is also in the mix, Morgan Mishler.
Yeah, Morgan, he does a good job riding the edge of the groove, and he actually probably widens the blue groove on the racetrack more than any rider out there. He's good at going where other riders aren't and looking for a way by.
Yeah, Mishler and Dean, they have won races in this singles class before. They're not strangers to it, but Zabala not messing around. He gets some ground back after being bumped out of the groove, and he wants to go to the lead.
Yeah, as Mishler pulls out a little early, not able to make the draft pass on Kitchen, Zabala wisely moves to the outside, goes on by.
This is incredible. Look at how close this pack is. Just getting started in this AFT Singles main event. Brandon Kitchen, can I use the joke? They brought all the heat they can to Kitchen so far in this main event, but so far, he's holding up well. Even with the draft, he's held the lead.
Yeah, you know, and I look at this as a great opportunity for Brandon Kitchen. You know, he got his first win last night, but tonight he's getting a ton of experience racing at the front rather than racing to the front. So this is really good for his development as a racer.
So Zabala going to be the one to try to get him on the number 51 from second as the entire field is all within the draft zone. And now Henry Wiles, can he get a 2-for-1? He almost had it, almost went from third to first. Now both Hondas ganging up.
Wow. Zabala threaded the needle there. Kitchen goes up a little wide, gets around, goes around the outside of Henry Wiles underneath Brandon Kitchen, and then now Wiles drafting back to the lead down the front. These guys are racing like it's the last 2 laps. Amazing racing as Zabala comes up the inside, not quite able to make the draft by Wiles. Kitchen slots into third, Mishler in fourth. 17-year-old Dallas Daniels had a few mile races under his belt, ran toward the front. I think his career best, 4th at Meadowlands at the season finale in 2019. Getting his taste of running in the front pack for the first time as Wiles and Zabala. Almost looked like they were rubbing legs there going through the corner.
Yeah, they're battling, but how about Brandon Kitchen? So an upset winner the first time he raced here last night. An upset winner, he wins his semi tonight. He holds the lead, they get around him, they shove him back to 4th, and he has fought all the way back to the number 1 spot. So he's showing he's tough because they threw everything they had at him, and he's holding on.
Yeah, he slips up a little bit there coming off at turn 4. Zabala gets a good run, see if he can make a draft. Coming from third, Wiles. You know,
oh, Daniels and Zabala made contact.
Yeah, Wiles came up the inside of Zabala there, kind of spooked him a little bit. He moves a little bit to the right just as Daniels was coming down. They come together, but they didn't lift. They kept on running.
Shayna Texter on the 52, Ryan Wells on the 94. They're running the low line. They're making up ground in a hurry. Oh, it's so good to watch a mile race, especially in the singles division. Although right now, oh, for a second, I thought that Zabala and Kitchen were going to try to break away from Daniels and the rest of the pack. Maybe not.
She's going to have to do it quick. Time has expired. They're going to get the 2 laps to go signal. She's going to need to go to the front right now in order to have a chance to win this one.
2 to go. Can Wiles lock this one down and get a win here in the singles division? He's been strong this year, but looking for that breakthrough victory. And he admits, a lot of people saying, oh, he's one of the bigger guys. Can you get it done on the smaller 450cc machine, especially on a mile where it's all about aerodynamics and weight? So far, so good for the 17, but Zabala, Texter, Daniels, Wells, they're all right there.
Nobody's gotten by Henry in the last lap and a half. He got a great run through 1 and 2. Zabala here shows a wheel coming up off of turn 4. Let's see if he can utilize the draft rather than just kind of race behind to see if he can pull. He pulls out a little early. Zabala having a hard time going to the front.
Wells and Texter still working in formation. For a moment, I thought one of them might be able to move those Hondas out of the way. But here it is, final lap. Wiles is hanging on for now, but there's still drafting room for the rest of the pack.
Yeah, Zabala is not pulling in right behind Henry Wiles. He looks like he's in defensive mode, wanting to go into the corner second.
Wow, okay.
Not doing a very good job of drafting.
Is he going to try it here out of the turn 4?
I haven't seen him line up to draft, actually. He's been close. It's like he's racing all the way around the racetrack. Let's see if he makes it work here.
Last moment, checkered flag out. Stretch run. Not enough from Zabala, and Henry Wiles does it. He gets a win in the singles division. He gets a win on the mile. Really curious how Mies will bounce back after third in the first Indy Mile. Can he fight back and get the win? Here we go. And Bronson Bauman, a good run from the outside, but it's his brother. Briar is going to lead them into the turn.
Wow, Bauman had a good run up the inside. Jared Mies just flat out accelerated him to the spot, but there Bauman slips right back underneath. Jared right through the middle of the corner.
I can't even keep up. Those are 3 passes in the first 2 corners. Also got the 44 of Robinson there, and there is that number 4 of Brian Smith.
A little bit of shimmy on the XG coming up the inside. He certainly wants to stay in touch with the front group right off the bat. And Jeffrey Carver there running in third as Briar leads him off of turn 4.
Well, Carver's good on these miles, but we didn't see a lot of it in the first Indy Mile this year because he started in the back, on the back of the grid because he was coming back from bike problems. Now he's starting up front, and he is right there on that 23. Yeah, he is closed in, so he and Carver are not letting them go. It's not going to be a 1-2 show tonight. We've got a huge pack, and that also includes the 44 Robinson, Bronson Bauman in the 37, the 92 of Price, and now, oh, I thought the pass had been made. I thought Smith had Bauman for second.
Yeah, it looked like he was able to sneak up the inside, but Briar running a little bit wider line going into turn 1. He's able to stay up on the gas a little bit longer, and when he gets to the point where he can line up the middle of the corner, he runs a straight line to the apex.
Oh, this would be huge if Brian Smith can break through and get in between or in front of these factory Indians. The wrecking crew has been wrecking a lot of the dreams of the other guys the last couple of years, but Brian Smith, he's saying they've got that Harley figured out. He knows he's going to be competitive, and he's showing it right now on that number 4.
Yeah, I thought Smith was going to go up the inside. Briar ran it in, baked it into turn 1, up off the edge of the groove a little bit, fighting it real hard to get it back down in the middle of the rubber coming off of turn 2.
So 2 different things to watch. You've got this show with Mies and Bauman going back and forth, and then now Robinson and Smith and Carver all taking shots at them.
Good run at the front here. These guys, more passes so far tonight than there were in the entire race, and you know, we're only not quite halfway through this one.
And I'm still waiting for Smith to see what he can do, if he can get the clean air. Is he sitting back there waiting? Is he got a trick up his sleeve? The battle is on here, the 50th running of the Indy Mile at American Flat Track. 4 minutes and 2 laps to go. Jared Mies leads. Brian Smith has moved up to second of the number 4. Still haven't seen what Smith can do if he can get to the lead. It would be a huge breakthrough if he can bring that XG 750 Harley, be the first ever win for that Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and he's in position to get it done.
Certainly is. It's interesting to watch. Jared Mies comes off the corner, drifts up a little bit, comes down to the inside, says if you're going to draft me, you're going to have to chase me down to the inside, put you on a lower line. He comes back a little bit, but not quite all the way to the wall, riding very defensive at the front. Whenever you get defensive with this much time left, you're in trouble, in my opinion. I think Jared Mies is in trouble. If he's having to ride defensive rather than trying to get away from these guys, he's going to have his hands full here shortly.
Well, a classic rivalry and friendship between Mies and Smith, who go way back. They've battled for this title before. They put on fantastic shows on these mile races. Now you've got the new kid, the defending series champ, Briar Bauman, who's figured these miles out as well, right with them. They're starting to break away from the 44 Robinson.
Wow, that was a slick move around the Mile Master on the outside, right on the edge of the groove. That was a power move into second. Let's see if he can carry that momentum up to Mies up front.
2 minutes and 2 laps to go. Smith tries to get Bauman back. Nothing happening there. On to the backstretch we go. We're going to see a draft move. from the number 1.
Well, Bauman got up a little bit wide there, right on the edge of the groove. Let's see if he can get a good run down the back straightaway. But Mies in defense mode coming off into turn 3. We'll see if Bauman nowhere near at that point.
One thing I've noticed the last couple of years of Mies.
Well, there he sneaks into the picture.
Yep, I was going to say, though, we'll see Mies lead out of turn 4, and you think they're going to draft by him. He always seems to have that solved to prevent that from happening. Yeah, he's been real good at evasive maneuvers to the stripe. He's going to have to do more than that, I think, in order to beat Briar Bauman tonight. Smith gets wide off the groove, loses 3-4 bike lengths there. Down to a 2-rider race. That was a big mistake for Brian Smith's chances of winning tonight. All right, is it going to be a 2-horse race, or can Smith get that bike back in it? Outside line again. Bauman down the lead. The same pass that he made on Smith, he put Mies in a little bit of dirty air. Got him up off the edge of the groove. Oh, you can never doubt the determination, the craftiness of Jared Mies, one of the best to ever do it. And it looked like Bauman had him. But on the last lap, Mies trying to get himself in position, maybe for one last draft down this backstretch. That was a perfect turns, 1 and 2 for Briar Bauman. He maintains the gap back to Mies, headed off into turn 3 here on the last lap. And that might be just enough, that good turn 1 and 2. Mies wasn't able to get close enough. Now we come out of turn 4. Can Mies find anything left? He's out of time. Briar Bauman wins his first mile the first time we were here, and now he's got 2 in a row at Indy. No better way to finish the weekend with a doubleheader. Jared Mies, he gets 2 wins at Volusia. Briar Bauman answers right back with a double here at Indy. This is going to be a great season of AFT Super Twins competition between these two.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.